What's up, guys? Welcome back to Build Cool again. Today, we're back to work with our 1986 Honda Helix CN250. And in this episode, it's time to finally cut into this frame. So we're going to start by cutting out the rear brace that's right behind where the gas tank would go out of this thing, so we'll be able to mount the radiator in its place. And I think that will give us just enough room there, if we utilize that space, to where we'll be able to get the radiator fan right behind it. And then once we're able to get that all taken care of, we'll move up front here and start working on getting our headlight all mounted up. Now I think we're going to dig into some leftover parts from the EZ50, because I think I have a set of headlight mounts that were supposed to be on that, but I think we could cut them up and make them work here instead of cutting out some new stuff out of sheet metal. I just feel like instead of spending a bunch of time, it'll be much easier to just cut and weld it into here. But before we get started, let's go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep on building cool. This thing's going to be done before we know it, and I want to do some serious rides with this thing. I'm talking long distance, multi-day rides. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out when we finally do finish this thing. But with all that being said, let's get started. So with a little creativity, we managed to go ahead and get the radiator mounted in the rear of this frame. And I am very happy with how this thing came out. So now it's time to go ahead and move on to the front of the bike so we can get the headlights mounted on here. Now I have the little brackets from the CN250 that we just did. I'm going to use those things. I feel like if I just cut the little tubes off, you'll see what I'm talking about, but I want to just cut the little tubes off of them, and that will give me something to be able to weld onto here, and then I'll be able to mount the headlights on from there. But I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about getting them all squared. I'm thinking I'll probably like line them up, tack one in, then kind of measure, and yeah. A little creativity, but we'll figure it out and we'll make sure they're nice and straight because I don't want them sitting all funny. So I'm going to go through, show you guys the headlight I got, get you guys set up, and then we'll work on getting these headlights all mounted up. So with all that being said, let's keep going. So after another late night, we managed to not only get the radiator on the back, but we got the headlights on the front. Now, everything I did is just tacked into place. I still have to go through and weld it all in, but we may do that next episode. That may be just at a later date. I'm not real sure. The next episode, we'll probably go through, get the radiator fan mounted up, maybe start routing our coolant lines and figuring all of that out. Then, who knows, maybe the handlebars will come in, maybe we'll start just cutting the rear of the frame and figuring out the rear suspension. It just depends on what parts show up, and that will kind of determine what we'll be able to do. If nothing really shows up, then we can just keep cutting away at the rear. But we'll figure that out when the time comes. But before we get out of here, let's go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep on building cool shit. This thing's going to be done in no time, and you're not going to want to miss out when we start doing some serious rides on this thing. But with all that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace!